I'm Daphne Quay, your Boss Lady Realtor, and today we are going to talk about the top reasons that everybody is moving to Austin. Why is everybody moving to Austin? As the title of this video would suggest, today we're going to be talking about some of my reasons why I think so many people are moving to Austin. I feel like Austin is literally all over the media. All the big news stations, of course, always have stories about Austin. Our housing market is nuts, so that's made news multiple times. We've also been ranked the #1 place to live by Forbes for 3 years in a row, which I think says a lot. So I think there's one thing reading from the media, like why people are coming here, and then hearing it from locals or a local. I am a local and I work with people who want to move here, so I get to see all the time why people want to come to Austin, why they're coming here, and I guess kind of like why they stay as well. So I'm just going to share with you some of my ideas as to why everybody's moving to Austin. The first reason I think so many people are coming to Austin, particularly from the Californias, is because we have so many IT companies that are either opening big offices here or relocating to Austin. The first big example, of course, is Apple. Apple has had an office, or well, now a campus, in Austin for at least 25 years. They've been very present here for quite some time. And they are currently building an absolutely enormous, new, high-tech, beautiful campus that is going to bring, well, originally they said it was going to bring 5,000 jobs. Now I kind of wonder if it's not more. I'm kind of curious to see if that budget hasn't gone up just with everything going on in our economy, but kind of getting sidetracked. So we have a lot of really big IT companies that come here. Apple is here and they are expanding here. Tesla is working on building the Gigafactory, which is bringing over a ton of people that work at Tesla. And I feel like it was a surprise to absolutely nobody when Elon Musk announced that Tesla's headquarters are moving to Texas. Surprise to no one, because who didn't see that on the wall? We also have Dell. Dell Technologies has a headquarters in Round Rock, which is kind of like centrally located in Round Rock right off of 35 and 45, two major highways. Samsung has an enormous monstrosity of a campus on the east side off of East Palmer Lane, which is also like it's on the east side, but it's still like fairly centrally located, so you can get to things pretty quickly. I mean, I only named 4 of the big IT companies that we have here. There's probably a dozen more that I didn't even name that you would recognize pretty quickly. Because a lot of those places are here, we have a lot of talent that comes to Austin. So people that work at these companies, web developers, software developers, and so on. Because these big companies are here, the talent is here, and also other startups are coming to Austin, and they've been coming here for a long time. They'll start here, they'll get people that are hungry, that are scrappy, willing to work hard, want to be part of something big, and they'll build these companies. And it's just kind of like a never-ending cycle. Like, this is a really good breeding ground for startups and small businesses. So much opportunity here and a lot of like-minded people that are here on a mission. I don't typically hear of people coming to Austin to kind of figure out what they're going to do in life. I mean, yeah, that exists, but generally people come here with a goal or a mission. Another reason people come to Austin is because of our culture within the humans and the people. And I want to make a quick note. There's another video that I talked about 6 reasons not to move to Austin. And one of them is I talked about how we don't have a very big art scene, different type of culture than what I'm talking about now. Side note, like our art scene could stand to improve and grow. But as far as like culture, how people are with each other, it is delicious. It's so nice. So let me tell you a little bit of my background. So before I moved to Austin, I lived in Minneapolis, and the Midwest was fine and dandy, but people I never felt like were super, super friendly. And when I moved here, people say hi on the street. You can talk to people at the grocery store. You can talk to your neighbor. Like, people are very friendly. And what I've heard from Californians a lot too is that people will talk to you with like no motive. And I think a lot of times people coming from other states, they're like, what do you want when they come here? And that's like, nobody wants anything. They just want to see how you're doing. They just want to chat. So many people are transplants here from other states or sometimes other countries, and they just genuinely want to meet other people and make new friends. I really love that. that like as humans, we can go out one evening, whether you're like at a club, a bar, a restaurant, and like you could just start talking to somebody else, and that's totally normal, totally cool. Nobody thinks it's weird. Obviously, as a realtor, I'm out and about. I don't show houses a lot anymore, but when I do, a lot of times I'll go through neighborhoods, and if somebody's on a walk, I'm in my car and they're like waving at me like, hey, welcome. I'm like, hey, I don't live here, but what's up? They don't know me. I don't know them, but it's like really warm and kind of cool. And like, it's just like, there's just that like nice connection that people have, and like that like Southern kind of hospitality that exists here. That's really unique to Austin. And I think like one more thing I would add on to that, I mentioned earlier, people don't have alternative motives. Generally speaking, folks are pretty humble here. We don't do a lot of name dropping. We don't talk about like, I spent so much on these shoes and look at my stupid handbag. That exists, I'm sure, but generally speaking, it's not like what people go out for. Sure, people go out and they dress up, but you can also go out very casually and like have a really good time. I've always told folks that I feel like there's a lot of secret millionaires in Austin that walk around in like torn shorts and flip-flops, and nobody would have a clue that they're millionaires because they're just humble and like grounded and down to earth, and they just want to live their life fully, have a good time with like those around them. And it's not like a super flashy city where people are just like trying to have this ridiculous image. It's just like, you are what you are, everyone's welcome, and we all just have fun, and it's like a healthy place to be. One thing that makes Austin stand out for me is how health conscious so many people in Austin are. So many of us take a lot of pride and make health and fitness a priority. So if you go downtown to Zilker Park, there's walking trails, running trails, bike trails right by the lake, and they go on for miles and miles. A lot of the communities in Austin and like in surrounding suburbs have lots of walking trails because we have a lot of nature. People love being outside, and like sunlight and exercise is so good for your mental and emotional, physical well-being. We also have a lot of independently owned gyms. I don't think this is so much a thing anymore, but I know like CrossFit was really big for a while. And now obviously CrossFit is not my thing, but I feel like it's kind of shifted more from like CrossFit to like just general fitness overall. We do have a ton of gyms. There are like big, huge gym chains that we have. We have lots of independently owned gyms. Literally any part of the Austin area, you can find somewhere to work out whatever style you're into, whether you like traditional like weightlifting, if you like one of like the nicer, bougier gyms, if you like something grungier, if you like something out of like somebody's garage, boxing, like martial arts is big. I think naturally, because people do make an effort to stay fit and be well, I think Austin has a lot of really attractive people. Living here, honestly, you get used to it. I think first you show up and you're like, wow, everybody's so beautiful. And then you're like here for a while and it's like, yeah, whatever. And like you kind of get used to it, no big deal. But I travel a lot and I feel like I go to other states sometimes and I'm like, oh my goodness, like Austin is right, it is tight, and it is all right. I just made that up. That was so cheesy. Lastly, one of the reasons that I think people flock to Austin and maybe Texas in general is that we have a really wonderful food scene. Now, I'm gonna begin by saying I'm not like a particularly adventurous eater. However, I notice and I also hear from tons of people about the incredible variety of food, cuisines, places, and like styles of food that we have here in Austin. So let me just start with barbecue. Austin has a ton of really good barbecue places. One of the most popular ones is Franklin's Barbecue, just located east of downtown. There is oftentimes a line around the building to wait to get some barbecue. Terry Black's Barbecue is also really good. Rudy's is really popular. I don't know that they're like the best, but they are really good. Basically, Rudy's is, we have a handful of these like Rudy's restaurants throughout town, and they are usually connected to like a gas station. So if you go to the gas station, you can also go into Rudy's and get some barbecue and pulled pork or brisket or whatever you want with like potato salad, etc. It's very, very popular, and it's a pretty good option for barbecue on the go. Also, the Salt Lick, which is located west of Austin, about 45 minutes in Driftwood. It's almost like it used to be a ranch and then it got turned into a restaurant. So you go to Salt Lake, you put your name on the list if there's a wait, and you hang out there for a little bit. You can get some drinks while you wait and like walk around the land that the restaurant is on. They do all sorts of barbecue. They do like sausage and different types of cuts and styles of meat, and it's super popular. People love Salt Lick, and you can eat and eat and eat into an oblivion. Along with barbecue in Austin proper, we do have a lot of like farm to market restaurants where literally the restaurant will get the food fresh from like a farm and bring it to the restaurant. The menus can change kind of like every week or like every month. They'll have different things on the menu. One of the really popular ones is Odd Duck. Odd Duck does stuff like that. Their menu's always changing and they have some really good food. We also have a really big and diverse food truck scene. Food trailers have become incredibly popular in the last decade or so. There are multiple trailer food trucks all over Austin and even in the suburbs. We were up in Leander one time and we found this really cute little food trailer park thing with all sorts of foods. There's some like super south as well. Like we found some like vegan food trucks down there and like some that does like coffees, like coffee shop trailers. There's just a lot. There's a handful that do like specialize like in desserts and donuts all over Austin. And you can find some that have like South American food. Like I literally could just go on and on and on because there's such a big food truck variety. But we do have a lot of that here and you can literally go anywhere and find some good food truck options. One other reason that people come to Austin, and I would just say this is maybe more of a Texas thing in general, is that we don't have income tax, which if you're coming from a high tax state, like for instance, California, that can be a monumental move for you to come to a state where you don't have income tax. And I will say our property taxes are pretty high, but I mean, I guess depending like what income level you're at, that may or may not matter too much. So that's it. Those are the reasons why I think people are moving to Austin and why they are staying here. We have a lot of different types of food here. We've got so many tech companies that are coming here. We have such an awesome group of people that lives here and just like so much like culture and warmth and people just like wanting to connect and be friends. It's a really beautiful community. That's just my list of thoughts. If you want me to add to that list, leave a comment. I really like hearing from you guys. If you are thinking of buying a home or selling a home in the Austin area, please feel free to send me an Instagram DM or send me an email. That's all I got for you guys. I'm Daphne Quay, your Boss Lady Realtor. Till next time.